Kyle Busch, the big winner over the weekend. Quaker State 400, Kentucky Speedway. Second win in last 3 weeks. Driver the number 18, M&M's Toyota, joins us on the show. Compare how you would celebrate now as a husband and father to back in your single days after winning a race.
Well, sometimes the parties went pretty long, and nowadays you celebrate in victory lane with your team and everyone, and then head back to the airplane and go back to the house. So celebrations are a little bit different, but not all the time was it always a party. I do remember there one big one when we won out in Vegas, my hometown track, and we actually got snowed out. We couldn't leave Vegas because there was too much snow to land the airplanes on the ground in Charlotte. So I took all my guys out, and we pretty much had an all-night rendezvous.
Do you remember the tab for that?
No, not exactly, but I remember I picked up some, the team picked up some, and then the sponsor picked up some. So actually it was not that bad getting split in thirds.
What's your nickname?
My nickname's Rowdy.
Has it always been Rowdy?
No, it hadn't always been Rowdy, I guess.
What was it before? What was it growing up?
Back in my younger days, it was Shrub.
Shrub.
Yeah, that's what you get when your dad's the tree and your brother's the bush and you're the shrub.
But that's kind of a tough nickname to walk around with, isn't it?
I just kind of shrug it off. It's no big deal. I don't really pay much attention to what nicknames really are, I guess. I mean, I've got quite a few more past just those two.
What do the fans call you? I mean, fans call you Rowdy?
I get both, more so Rowdy than Shrub, but, still from my early days, there's a lot of people, probably more so the haters that still tend to like to use the Shrub one.
But I couldn't help but notice, here's Dale Jr. getting introduced over the weekend, the driver introductions, and then you're right after Dale Jr., so it went from, everybody applauding and yelling and screaming, and then all of a sudden you got the boos.
Yeah, and I've had that for a long time. But Junior and I, it's funny. I wouldn't call us friends, but we're not enemies. I mean, we don't go out and hang out all the time and whatnot. But we do talk to each other. We are cordial with one another and can have a good time. He actually invited us, surprisingly enough, to his 40th birthday party last year, and
nice.
We had a good time. So we've had some fun together.
Who was the last man to leave Dale Jr.'s 40th birthday party?
I wasn't there that long. No, I left. I left earlier than others. So I don't know who the last one was.
Do you want to be liked?
I think you always want to be liked, but sometimes you're not always liked. Even Dale Jr. I know some people that don't like him.
But do you? Because sometimes you can embrace it that they don't like you. His dad was the intimidator, so it's kind of interesting how you're portrayed or profiled, and then you're stuck with that. Either you embrace it or not. When did you learn to embrace it?
I guess it was probably 2008 when I made the move from Hendrick Motorsports to Joe Gibbs Racing, and I remember Tony Stewart being my teammate, and he'd come up to me and talk to me a little bit and just tell me, hey. There's going to be people that like you. There's going to be probably even more that hate you. But, just take what's coming at you and just live it and handle it the best you can, whatever. But I think one of the best things in that respect was just that it wasn't that you always had to be liked or you didn't always have to have everyone like you just because you wanted that. You're not just going to change everybody. Their opinion of you.
Well, also, you just want them to know who you are. So it might be for that they don't like you, but sometimes they don't like you because you're good at what you do.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I think, being good, winning a lot of races. I've won 144 races across all three series of NASCAR. It's, you tend to not make people all that happy and winning all the time. So, but the problem I kind of had, I guess, that I've gotten over, but was back in the beginning when I first came to NASCAR, and my first driver intros was I was just turned 18. It was Charlotte Motor Speedway, and it was my first now Xfinity Series race. And when they introduced me, I got booed, and I was like, okay, well, I haven't ever been here yet, so appreciate that. And, I guess I attribute that to, my brother ruffling some feathers, I guess, and just kind of me being the younger brother. I was already guilty by association and already given the, the wrong label.
That damn Kurt Busch.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Next Sunday, NASCAR Sprint Cup Series returns to New Hampshire Motor Speedway, 1:30 on NBCSN. Coverage beginning at 1 Eastern. Biggest speeding ticket you've ever gotten?
128 and a 45.
Oh, man. You can't even... Did you drop the Do You Know Who I Am card?
No, the cops came like hands on guns, ready to roll. They thought it was something really bad, and turned out it was kind of nothing. So they were like, okay, this ain't that big a deal.
Well, okay, but when do you realize you're going that fast and that maybe you should slow down?
Well, I knew I was going that fast. It was the Lexus LFA I picked up from the dealership, drove all the way home, and was going to pick up my wife to take her to lunch. And she was with me, and she was like, well, this car's not all that special. Why do you want one? It's like $400,000. What's cool about it? So I was like, okay, here, let me show you.
Oh, man.
And I gassed it up, and literally I gassed it up, not even for a quarter-mile drag strip. And there were three sheriffs coming from the other direction, and they busted me. The first one got me at 145, the second one got me at 90, and the third one got me at 45. So I asked them if they would average it, but they didn't find that very good.
Well, congrats on the win, and of course, glad the leg is better, coming back from the broken leg, and see how you fare in New Hampshire. Thanks for joining us, Kyle.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
All right, next Sunday, NASCAR Sprint Cup Series returns to New Hampshire. That'll be at 1:30 on NBCSN. Coverage beginning at 1 Eastern.